Welcome everyone, this is going to be another video. I haven't done a video like this for a little while. So, talks about all psychics basically tell us if someone isn't our twin flame. Yes, they can tell us if they ain't our twin flame. But just because a psychic or medium tells you they're not your twin flame doesn't mean they're not your real twin flame. Or anything. Information as psychics, as mediums, can be very confusing. And when they just start telling us, oh, we're not going to meet this certain person, or you're not meant to be with this certain person. So what they could be feeling and picking up, they could be picking up on the connection itself. So if there's arguments and then you slowly came away, but then the psychic don't always see, if you like, having an energetic connection where you're going to end up coming back together. So when that splits, so the psychic or the medium may pick up on that feeling of where the two people start to feel that it isn't a connection. And then they start to doubt the connection. They start to doubt that if they was a twin flame, or if they was the real twin flame, or if they was even meant to be with that person. They will doubt these kind of things, and all psychics and that will try and say, oh, they're not your real twin flame. But at the end of the day, a lot of psychics out there won't tell you the true facts. That was a wasp. But I don't like wasps. So at the end of the day, it all comes down to ourselves. With my knowledge and over many years of experience of being a psychic medium, a psychic, had to work very hard to get the gifts that I have today. So yeah, took me a while to get all the gifts, but at the end of the day, it all comes down to, because every time a psychic tells me something, I already know it. Already know what they're going to say. Already know what's got to be changed. Because I understand. And sometimes in them split moments we may not understand, because our mind is so clouded up in judgment, which means in thoughts, and something holding us back at that time. So it all comes down to listen to your heart, your gut. If you feel they're your twin flame, you've said it for a reason. If you feel they're not your real twin flame, you've said that for a reason. But if you're always saying that they're your real twin flame, then there's energy to it, and it's spirit communication. And you will get signs and messages. And signs and messages that you will have an energetic connection as well. You understand the three guys. Let's just sit down and have a little bit more of a talk. So it all comes down to listening with ourselves within. When we listen to our hearts, our desires, and when we don't go against our feelings or our heart desires, when we listen to truth within ourselves, going so deep within ourselves, even discomfort happens and negativity can end up happening. But the more we push through that, the more we will overcome that, become stronger. The more we can go through something and try and reevaluate that situation. Sometimes you have to keep going through it. It's no different to that when we keep chasing someone. When we keep chasing, we push them away because we put too much pressure on them. And that's no different with anything else. We can put pressure on things negativity can have influence in our lives, can create negativity and stop us having the things we want. So sometimes we have to overcome the human experience and try and think of things that don't resonate on the human experience. So positivity, loving ourselves unconditionally, is the most beneficial and the best way we can actually go about. When we analyse our thoughts, they come to serve us, we start to feel them, and that's a way for it letting go. Sometimes if we resist on that, it's like tug of war, pull, push and pull, and then we never get nowhere. And that rope always tight. We just can't cut it because it's so tight. But when we start to flow within ourselves and we start to heal within ourselves, so sometimes also to know a twin flame is a real twin flame, the connection will always be there. It will feel unconditional love like you've never experienced in your life. And you will feel it on a soul level, such a deep level. Even the human experience can't always comprehend the experiences, what it comes with. So it's about understanding, connecting within, overcoming ego, self-doubt, and observing everything. When we start looking for the truth within, and we do it out of love, and we connect unconditionally, then the messages and truth comes our way. Sometimes even if someone's not meant to be with us, we can't see it at the time. So in them few moments we really need to really start thinking positive. It's very hard to actually do that because our minds and our lives are so busy and hectic. Whether it's negative people, situations, whether it's love is the most powerful thing because it can bring you away from it. So about that, guy just went past. So everything comes down to going out, distracting the mind, doing things we most enjoy, and that raises our vibration. Living in peace, love, clarity. And we don't have to be in a relationship to love ourselves or to be happy. We can have that within ourselves. Not saying that you don't want to be happy with someone else, because when we love ourselves unconditionally and we experience that, and when we start to really go within ourselves to levels that we find very challenging, to the point it takes us out of our comfort zone, and sometimes we just need a bit of truth. We need a bit of medicine, a bit of reality. Because sometimes going through one experience isn't enough for the human experience or the human body. Sometimes we have to experience it at such a deep level for it to even change or have an adverse effect to our energies and frequencies. But long as we start to raise our frequencies, be grounded by going out, to hugging a tree, may sound very silly, but just doing that stimulation, that focus, that determination, and go hug a tree, because you will feel a little bit better. May not take everything away, but you should start to feel slowly when we start to say certain words. I love myself, things happening easily. So imagine it's already happened, feel it's already happened on a daily basis. Try and feel it. When you feel it, you can feel them glitches. Even though it isn't manifested itself, it will manifest itself. If we can just stay in unconditional love and actually start to really reevaluate ourselves, and whenever we go through something, analyse it, Have the empathy there not to react. Think before we react and see the solutions, what really it is. Because sometimes it's on a deeper level. Sometimes it's within ourselves that we get so stuck into our own minds, and then ego just creates a lot of negativity. Even though the other person isn't going to be doing something, or if they're not going to be hurting us or something like that. Sometimes we use the past and we bring all that back, and we just class it as that person's hurted us more than the people in the past. But really we've used all that and just put all that back onto that pressure, and it just builds and builds up, and things go in a cycle and things go in a circle. So what we need to really evaluate it and change our thought patterns. The more we can change within ourselves, because everything on an outside influence has an inner reflection to what we do in life, to what we experience, what we say, who we meet, how we react, to people we react with. To everything, to even a leaf. Everything's meant to be in our path. Everything's happening for a reason. Everything happens in divine timing. I will be doing another video in the next few days. So remember to love yourselves unconditionally. Everything is a process. To change your thoughts and change your feelings, we have to raise our frequencies, shift our consciousness. Before we can do that, we have to work on ourselves within. Cutting cords from either previous relationships, previous hurts, and bringing balance into your life, bringing health and prosperity. Abundance will come flowing in if we change our thought patterns and our thinking. The most powerful thing is, by changing our thought patterns, things happen gradually and in steady timing. People think, I'll change that thought, I love myself now. Next day they think they've loved themselves, but it doesn't work like that. Everything is a process. It can take 2 years, 3 years, but then you can come back down to 2 years, and it'd be like going up basically on level 1, next level, level 2, level 3, then you'd be back to level 2 again. By the time you got to level 3, you'd be back to level 1 again. So we just have to trust in the universe. What we send out there, we receive. So if we keep everything we think, feel and do, and 100% of the words and thoughts that go on in our minds, we're not really paying attention to them anyway. So it just builds up clutter. But if we can slow the thought process down, start to find positive, uplifting moments, positive memories, and not letting people affect our energies, and then what that will do is that will change our vortex, that will change our energy within ourselves. Sometimes our body may feel clogged up, our body may feel a bit under the weather, but we will still feel that uplifting energy, which is coming into unconditional love. And when we come into that unconditional love, we attract abundance to us, we attract life, we attract everything we want in our lives. But when we keep thinking a negative thought that can take out our lives quicker than it's got drawn into our lives, just by what we think and feel, is very, very powerful. On the next video, we'll be talking about more about law of attraction and how to attract things into our lives, and to not only get through the experiences in life, but to be able to understand them. Until the next video, love and light.